everybody. What's going on? Oh, I got the wrong background up. How about that? How about that? Oh, and that's still the wrong background. Hold on a second, guys. Let me fix that. Let me fix that. It's not Tuesday anymore. It's Wednesday. At least I hope it's Wednesday. There we go. There we go. Should be fixed now. Should be fixed now. So how is everybody doing? I'm glad to see everybody here today. For some reason, I wonder what AstroTub's latest scope is. I haven't watched AstroPub in a long time. As a matter of fact, because the only Star Citizen content I watch is what's sent into the Discord, and the very few people that I'm subscribed to that do Star Citizen content, it's my YouTube feed is actually starting to clear up of Star Citizen stuff. So I don't get as much of it as I used to anymore. My feed is now mostly music, movies, other video games, video game trailers, things like that. So it's kind of nice not being slammed with Star Citizen stuff anymore. You know, not too long ago, it was that was pretty much what my entire YouTube feed was just Star Citizen. So it's nice not to see it as often anymore. I don't know what's going on with my OBS and Twitch. I've tried 18 different things to fix it, and it will not broadcast to Twitch. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm going to keep working on it and hopefully eventually get it fixed. So if you are watching me on Twitch or have been expecting to watch me on Twitch and it hasn't worked in the last 3 weeks, I'm sorry. I don't know what else more to do to fix it. I've watched YouTube video after YouTube video. I've gotten help from people I know. It will not broadcast over there. It just won't. What's up, Brian? You know what? I made your sound effect, but I have yet to hear it play when you come in. Let's see if that triggers it. What's going on, Canop? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Twitch. So I'm using a plugin over on OBS, and it sends information to YouTube and it sends information to Twitch. And every time I go live, it says it's connected. It says it's going to Twitch, but when you go over to Twitch, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. Says, like, I just refresh it, it says live, and then immediately goes to offline. So I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it right now. There's bigger things to worry about, I guess, like Star Citizen and other video games. Yeah. And just so you are all aware, I know what's going on in the world right now, but this will never be a political channel. So don't ask it of me. I'm not doing it. If I want politics, I'll go and search it out myself. I'm not going to talk about it here with you guys. That's just how it is. Sorry. I've been asked. It's not happening. It's not going to happen. But yeah, I'm glad you're all here. And I guess we should, like, you know, watch some videos and make fun of Star Citizen and ooh and ah over other games that are coming out. Don't get me wrong. I still like Star Citizen. I just have less of a desire to play it and cover it these days. So when I do cover it, which, you know, a lot of the guys in Discord send me Star Citizen stuff, it's mostly for me to kind of just poke a little bit of fun, tap on the glass, and look inside the fish tank that is Star Citizen, and you know, sometimes anger the little fishies swimming around inside, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. All right, let's switch scenes here and do some stuff. So,
I see you.
Right? Such a beautiful piece of shit, right? Right? So we got a few videos to cover. I'm not going to make this a super long one today. I got some other stuff that I need to do before everybody is all the way in bed and every fish tank was removed. But yeah, I got some stuff I want to do before everybody is in bed and fully asleep and all of that. So let's see, what should we start with? We'll get that fixed for next stream. 10-4, man. 10-4. Like, I don't even know where to start. You know what? We'll start with this. We'll start with this. I got a few video game trailers sent through the Discord. I figure maybe we'll take a look at those first. One's a shorter one. One's kind of like an update, invisible, or excuse me, just a voice video. So we'll take a look at both of them. So this is Star Rupture. Everything's Star, right? Star Citizen, Star Wars, Star Trek, Star Rupture. All right, let's take a look at this. Oop. Hopefully my volume is good from the last time we had this set up. Oh, the year is 2201. Even petty criminals are sent to distant planets to gather resources for global corporations. Casualties... Starkiss. Yeah, of course, Pagan, of course. Of course. Casualties caused by lethal conditions are ignored. Okay. Sounds like present day, right? Working in the mines, mining lithium and cobalt, but we won't talk about that, right? Okay, interesting. I like the multi-tool. Very interesting. It's kind of giving me a No Man's Sky vibe. Ooh. I'm not sure if I like that, but eh. Oh, also getting kind of like a Pal World vibe. Interesting. Well, apparently they can be violent, so there's guns. I think he's dead. I'm getting, like, Half-Life No Man's Sky vibes from this. What? That's really cool. That is really, really cool. That is really cool. Interesting. Okay. Oh, all right. The bugs. Kill all the bugs. Oh, they got armored bugs. All right, so I got some opinions on this real quick. We'll let it finish. Okay, so there's some interesting aspects of it. This kind of seems like a mishmash of Minecraft, Pal World. I only say that because I played quite a bit of Pal World for a while. You know, you got your space bugs, but it feels like really Half-Life-y, Half-Life, No Man's Sky, Minecraft-y. But what I do really like is that the coronal mass ejections from whatever sun you're nearby wipes out the map, and you kind of got to wait for everything to regrow and come back. So I'm going to assume that there's certain resources that you'll be able to get when it's a wasteland, and then those resources will go away, and you'll have to then go after the resources that are available when it's a more of a greener type setting. I don't know, it looks interesting. I don't know if I'm gonna go out and buy this right away, but definitely looks interesting. I'll be keeping my eye on it, that's for sure. But I don't think for me that this is going to be a day one, like, gotta buy it like the day it releases kind of thing. Like, I think I'm just going to wait for it to come out and kind of go through its opening paces, so to speak, right? All right, let's check out one more type trailer / informative video about that. I mean, it looks, I don't know, Star Rupture, it looks like it could be cool. But as I said, I'm gonna wait. So we'll do the next one, I guess. And it's Elite Dangerous. So I've been playing a bit of Elite Dangerous on so I switched from days to nights. So my overnights, I've been playing a lot of video games. Elite Dangerous has been one, and Cyberpunk 2077. Before I talk about Elite, I want to talk about Cyberpunk real quick. So I played about 4 episodes during live streams of Cyberpunk 2077. I decided to play the next handful of missions and keep one save so I could go back and play it again if I was going to live stream it. I'm honestly kind of glad that I did not live stream it, because the amount of nudity in those 4 or 5 missions that I did, it's probably going to get me in trouble with either Twitch or YouTube, and I don't need that kind of heat. So I'm going to continue playing it not on stream, and I'll record some stuff, and then, like, once I finish it and before I start the DLC, I'll kind of give you my thoughts and opinions on the story, I guess. But I'm kind of glad I'm not live streaming it, because there's a lot of nudity that I did not really foresee coming. And even one of the missions, it was like, go talk to Meredith Strout, and I was like, okay, well, I'll meet her at the place that she's asking me to meet her, and she'll give me information to the next part of the story, and I'll do with it what I should, right? Go there, and it's pretty much just a sex scene, right? And you get one tidbit of information, and that's it. And so I was like, oh my god, I am so glad I'm not playing this on stream. So that's Cyberpunk, I guess, right? So Elite Dangerous, been playing a lot of Elite Dangerous at night as well. Been doing some mining, some hauling, and a little bit of dogfighting. So it's been fun. I've enjoyed it. And some of the guys over in Pagan's Discord have been kind of guiding me through some of it and learning some stuff. So Elite Dangerous, Trailblazers, the next big update.
It's dangerous.
Obsidian Ants.
It's
everybody.
a new update coming to
Obsidian
Elite
Ant.
later this month on the 26th of February.
Right, Brian?
This is going to be a huge update, in my opinion, and perhaps many other people's. It's going to fundamentally change many.
So I haven't played the power play stuff. I was kind of trying to gather some money and just kind of get my space legs under me, so to speak. Landing on planets. Relearning how to use scanners and deep space scanning and all of that fun stuff over again. And like I said, I'm doing a little bit of mining, a little bit of hauling. I haven't really.
You seem like a
ED is still around. Here, I'll pull this up for you. It's surprising. Hold on a second. It's honestly surprising how many people play this. Now, mind you, this is just people that have downloaded it from Steam and not anywhere else, and not playing it anywhere else. Hopefully I spelled that right. Pretty sure I spelled that right. It's got about 4,000 players an hour playing it, so that's really not too bad. I mean, when you look at like a newer title, which I've been kind of making fun of this title for a while now, 1.1 million copies sold in the world eating out of the FPS world eating out of their hand. Oof. That's not as low as I've seen it. The lowest I've ever seen it is 600. So, and welcome, Chase. How are you doing? You know, everybody was talking this game up. Everybody was talking this game. It's the best game ever. It's the best game ever. Look at that. Hundreds of thousands of people playing it to that. And then you look at oh, ouchie, people, ouchie. I think we know who won that war right there. So anyways, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. So we'll get back to Obsidian Ant and Elite Dangerous Trailblazers. I have not played much of Power Play. That's kind of be the next thing I want to try out. So Trailblazers.
Aspects of the game. The reason for that is because it's going to include the new colonization system. That means that players will be able to colonize empty star systems. Yes, as a player, you'll be able to become a system architect and then guide where the game places brand new space stations as well as planetary outposts.
Well, that's
also
cool.
Be able to determine what economy type.
Hey, Diz.
For all intents and purposes, then that star system will effectively be yours. Frontier announced the new title of this update along with the release date a few days ago. I'm a little bit late with this one because I did spend the weekend away from home. Frontier then have announced the release date as mentioned. It is the 26th of February and they've also named it.
So one thing real quick, you know, hey JT, how you doing, man? Thank you. One thing I want to point out is Elite Dangerous is a 10, 11-year-old game, maybe even 12-year-old game. And the planets still look pretty good, but then when you play games like No Man's Sky, Star Citizen, or even the Verse Project, which me and Grumpy were cheesing it trying to break the game, and we actually broke the demo a little bit. We kind of broke it. We were getting within, I'd say a couple hundred, like 100, 200, maybe 300 kilometers away from the moon, and the moon in the verse looks so good. Now it would stop us from getting all the way to the moon, but you're technically not supposed to be able to get too far away from the space station, but we found a way to cheese it. You need two people to do it, and we were going to the moon. We tried to go to Earth. But as soon as you get about the same distance away from... What's up, Carl? And yes, I did. Once you get about the same distance to the Earth as you would to the moon in the Verse Project, it stops you, it throws you out of your ship, and you're just stuck there. You have to respawn. We were trying really, really hard to get to Earth, but it will not let you at all. But the moon, you can get about this close, and then it stops you from getting there. So hopefully next quarter we can actually go to the moon, maybe land on the moon. That would be awesome. That would be really cool. So far, just from the distance, the moon graphics look phenomenal.
It is going to be called Trailblazers.
10-year anniversary, franchise 40th. Yeah, it's been around since the 80s. There's a really cool documentary. Sorry for pausing immediately. There's a really cool documentary. It's like an hour and a half hour. It's a little over an hour long about Elite Dangerous, how it was made, and how they got it all to work. And I forget what those computers were back in, like, I think it was 1983 or 84 when it came out. It was really cool. Oh, I'm aware that the Earth and Moon are not landable, but you can get close. I'm hoping next quarter when they finished the moon, they were supposed to have second quarter as well, landables on the moon. So I'm hoping next quarter we'll be able to land on the moon.
The notion of speed, and I think this is going to be a very slow and methodical process. That is, colonization itself is not going to be a speedy endeavor. But I guess it depends rather, how you use the word trailblazers. Obviously, you could be using,
I'm going to assume it's going to be really slow, even if you are close to the bubble.
Frontiers, as it were. So yeah, I certainly understand where the name comes from, but for me, I would like to have seen something else. But anyway, that's...
I'm waiting for space engineers to get up off the ground.
The colonization update is a huge deal, and something I've been really hoping to see in Elite for a very long time at this point. For those of you who've been paying attention to all of this, you may remember that for a while, Frontier have been indicating that the colonization update will come with a beta period. Now, for all the reasonable thinking people, I suspect that when Frontier discussed that there's going to be a beta period, they imagined there would be a period.
It sounds like he's saying
where,
beta.
Beta servers would be spun up and everything would be tested out before it goes to the live servers. It turns out that's not going to be the case. That's not how this particular beta is going to work. Instead, what's going to happen is that Trailblazers will be rolled out to the live servers where the beta process will actually take place. And by that, Frontier means that they will be changing values and making certain real-time balance changes to gameplay in real time whilst it's on the live server. So essentially, it seems that the gameplay itself is not being in beta, but rather the numbers, the balancing, and all the rest of it will go through a beta phase where things are in flux and will need to be balanced out based upon players' actions. And this does make sense. After all, we've had
it'll be a playable now
features have been
beta
rolled out, like the fleet carriers, for example, and it had a massive backlash.
I still don't have a carrier.
Still don't. Out of whack with
I'm not really that interested in getting one right
so
now.
Frontier are going to avoid that problem this time by being able to really declare right up front that the figures we get initially are not the ones that are going to be set in stone, and that they will be changed and adjusted
based
in
real
upon
life.
what goes on with the game and the player actions. Yeah, it does make sense. If you haven't heard much yet about colonization, there is another video linked in the description below. Check that out.
So I wonder if you're going to have to set up the station's inhabitable areas first before you can start bringing colonizers in, or if maybe you can bring colonizers in that can build that stuff for you.
My Elite videos where people are pretty impressed to see the amount of content that is coming out for this game, especially over the year since the beginning of 2024.
They've really been putting out a lot of stuff for Elite Dangerous. New ships.
In February this year is impressive to say the least.
New big
where it's going to end.
Game-changing content.
There is going to be a roadmap being presented in Frontier's
roadmap? What's that?
That's my understanding. Very curious to see what that's going to show, because hopefully, fingers crossed, there should be some additional updates coming this year.
Yeah, I only have a few ships, Carl. I have like Type 9.
Obviously, we can also expect,
Python,
imagine at least, that we'll see some more new ships. There's a number of new ships throughout 2024 for them, I do believe. So if we can see more of them come this year,
I use that for
should be a nice addition
exploring.
as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see a new ship come alongside the
there'll definitely be a new ship.
At least that is my hope. Now, obviously, with this number of updates coming over the past 12 months or so, it has had a knock-on effect on the player numbers. This is something that many of us on YouTube, many of us on forums and Reddit, all over the internet, in fact, have been saying for many years at this point. If only Frontier were to invest into Elite Dangerous, if only they were to do updates that players actually wanted.
So here's the thing. Are you going to bed?
Yeah.
Love you.
Love you.
So here's the thing with Elite Dangerous. There is so much stuff in there that I have not even really scratched the surface of it. I haven't done any of the what's it called? I haven't done any of the things that allow you to upgrade your components more. I forget. The word is eluding me right now. I haven't really messed around with power play too much. It's more or less just me kind of learning not everything, but learning where things are in the game, how to interact with it all, how to use the third-party sites, and I'll get more into it. But I'm definitely excited about colonization. I'm not sure it'll be what I spend a lot of time doing. I like more of the dogfighting type stuff, and then when I just want to chill, mining is fine, cargo running is fine. It doesn't really. I'm more of like an action kind of guy, right?
Then the player numbers would grow and financial return on the game would most likely increase. Well, that has turned out to be very true. The player numbers of Elite have been consistently increasing over the past few months. There's a couple of small downticks over the past 30 to 40 days or so.
It's spiked up to like 10,000
some of this content
an hour
has aged a little bit as
a couple of
people have
months
logged
ago.
on, played it and moved on, but I'm sure we're going to see another jump in player numbers when the Trailblazers update releases. We can see over on the Steam charts, and yes, I know not everyone is a fan of Steam charts for various different reasons, but it does give us a good indication on trends as to player numbers, and we can see that over the past few months it has constantly averaged.
No, I know. I'm pretty sure I'm correct in this. Odyssey did not go to the consoles like the Xbox and the PlayStation, right? At least that's what I've heard. Are these newer updates going to the consoles as well? Like, the Power Play and soon to be Trailblazers. Like I would be interested in knowing. If anybody knows, let me know.
Over 5,000 players, close to 6,000 players in some cases, with peaks over 10,000. This is a big, real far cry from where things were 12 months ago. Back in December 2023, we could see that peaks were 4,000 players and 2,500 average players.
Yeah.
So numbers have more than doubled in that time period. Frontier have also confirmed a few weeks ago that this is borne out in their financials. Obviously, with the release of early access ships where you pay to
that's good information.
A few months before they're actually available in-game to buy under credits, this has given them a bit of a financial return and a financial
I'm not
boost.
sure
So
on that one,
things are certainly working out. Although there are some out there who feel that these ships are a bit too much pay to win, and I think there is an argument to be made there. Nonetheless, it seems that this is having a positive impact on the game because the funds...
I mean, let's face it. The ships in Elite Dangerous are, I think, like sub $20, 25, sub 25-ish dollars. Like, that's not that much. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not one that advocates for spending tons of money on video games. But, buying a ship in Elite Dangerous is a far less expensive endeavor than it is in Star Citizen. I mean, even some of the ships that are even close in price to Elite Dangerous ships are still almost double. So, I don't know. You guys do with that one how you want, right? Like, I don't know. I'd be far less. I would be far more likely to spend money on a ship in Elite Dangerous than I would be in Star Citizen these days. That's for sure. And I am so glad. So the most recent new ship that I acquired, I melted stuff to get it, was a Star Lancer, and it's a nice ship. It's not bad. But the amount of unfinished stuff in that ship for $300 is awful. It is awful. The gun racks don't work. Some of the storage things don't work. Like, come on. Like, this is stuff that should work day one, right? I shouldn't have to wait multiple patches for it to work. And I haven't been in it. I haven't been in the Star Lancer for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So I don't know if the gun racks have been fixed in 4.01, but they did not work in 4.0. So yeah.
From all of this other content that they're making from selling early access to ships.
I haven't done the engineering stuff. That's what it is. I haven't done the engineering stuff. I've unlocked a few of the people, but I haven't
coming up
done
later
it
this
yet.
year is definitely a result of that. A few other small pieces of news here that are worth
You're
mentioning.
not wrong, JT.
Frontier unlocked the official live streams from Frontier on all of their games, which of course includes Elite Dangerous. The next one is scheduled for the 26th of February.
I do
That
like
will be, therefore airing
in Elite
the same
Dangerous
day
that
as the
there's
release
multiple
of the Trailblazers update.
space station
That
designs.
seems to suggest that between now and then we may not be seeing any official footage of the update before its release. Bit of a shame if so, because, well, it's always nice to see what we can expect further down the line, but if not, well, that's just how it is, I guess. Elsewhere, there's a brand new community goal. I don't normally talk about these too often, but, you know, this one is worth touching on.
A new community goal,
it
huh?
does seem to be the precursor to the Trailblazers update. Specifically here, well, it's kind of an exploration community goal, if you will.
Oh.
Players will need to collect universal cartographics data. So get out there and scan a variety of different planetary bodies. Specifically, they're asking for details on high metal content planets, metal-rich planets, icy worlds, rocky worlds, as well as rocky ice worlds.
Oh,
if you want to know more about this community goal, do check out the link in the description below. So there we have it.
So that was okay. That was cool. Yeah, I do like that they have these cool community goals now. I have not participated in any of them. I just think it's kind of cool that they have them in there. I know that if you want to make money the fastest, so to speak, then exploration is what you need to be doing. At least that's what a lot of veteran ED guys are telling me. But I tried it, and while I made a lot of money doing it, it just kind of got boring, being way out in the black, just wandering around planets, scanning, fungus, basically. I'm not saying it's awful. I'm not saying if you enjoy it, you're a bad, Elite Dangerous player. I'm just saying it's just not really for me. Maybe if there was more like survivability mechanics, like, you got to eat, you got to drink, you got to have O2, you got to have, more specialized tools. But yeah, I mean, it's cool. I get it. It's a 10-year-old game and I can't ask for too much, but just not really my thing. Made a good chunk of money on the community goal to the point where I was able to get a fleet carrier. Oh, nice. Oh, they have always been around. Deep core mining is the fastest money for now, for a long time, and it's fun. I haven't tried deep core mining. I've just been doing laser mining. I've been making decent money doing that. I've definitely been making some decent money doing that. I guess we should do some Star Citizen stuff before we do the non-Star Citizen stuff. This, like I said, this is going to be kind of a shorter one tonight. I apologize. Tomorrow I'll get on here and be on here a little bit longer. Plus I got a new thing I want to share with you guys. So, we'll do Lawless Baron and then we'll do Camerl. So, this is Lawless Baron. This got sent to me, by a couple of people. And yeah, I did watch this. I did watch this already, so this is not like a pure react, but I kind of wanted to share this with you guys. So take it away, Lawless. You can kind of see where this is going.
I didn't think I would ever make this video, honestly, but I've come to the decision that due to many factors, and I think it's time to move on from creating content. Now, I consider myself good at severing ties and moving on from relationships, basically anything that doesn't bring me any value. I more or less move on and make peace with it. It's who I am, it's what I do. But I think I'll really never make peace with this, but that's okay. I feel like this is personal growth, as I've dedicated myself to this role for quite some time. Before Star Citizen, a lot of years before that, and collectively around 15, if I can really sort of make it out. I've enjoyed it a lot at times, but there's the other side where I just stopped enjoying a lot of what I do. Now, I started making guides again because, believe it or not, I love helping people. Those who want my help get my help. So the content that I've started making was evergreen content. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's more or less something that sticks around in search and it has a bit of value to it. So
the only problem with trying to make evergreen content for a game like Star Citizen is, as we all know, it's year 13, 14 of alpha, and there's probably going to be, you know, a few patches this year, hopefully more than there was last year, and it's going to change. It's all going to change. The guides that you make today could be outdated tomorrow. I mean, it's that fast, right? So that's a big problem in Star Citizen, thinking that you're going to be able to make evergreen content. It's not going to last. No, missions will change, guns will change, computer specs will change, the new ship meta will always be changing. It doesn't matter. All of this will get patched out in days, weeks, months, and maybe, if you're lucky, a year, maybe years. You know, it's that's just how it is with this game, right? It's in constant flux, right? For better or for worse, it's in constant flux.
it was a little bit more long term, and you know, it would pop later on in the future, which is honestly what I was planning.
Hey, I mean, to be fair, the only like well thought out beginning to end like gameplay loops in Star Citizen is Screenshot Simulator and the CCU game. Like that's really it, right? Everything else, like none of it actually coalesces with each other, right? And the things that you do want to coalesce, they've kind of taken away from us. So we gotta wait, right?
On and something that I wanted, but to be honest, the content I have been putting out lately, I really haven't felt I've been getting any value from. Now that means like views, comments and whatnot. I feel like the channel has just gone down a slope. Now coming out of it, whether it be views, comments and general viewership coming in, I get it. People have come to my channel, taken ideas for content, and
the other problem too with Star Citizen is it's such a volatile game, right? We go through periods where a patch or two will come out and the game is mostly stable and you can make content on it and people are interested because it's stable and playable. And then things happen like 4.0 preview, 3.18, 3.23, 3.24, where, well, not things break and things don't work. So the only content that people click on is either this is broken, that's garbage, fix this, but nothing else is getting clicked on, right? So you make a guide for how to do, I don't know, something within the game, and if the game is broken, nobody's going to click on it, right? That's just how it is. And then there's periods in Star Citizen where there's just complete and utter information blackout, and you don't get anything new for a long time. So if you're one of those channels that's trying to inform, you get nothing, right? So this game is just in a weird spot, just overall, or demo, or alpha playable now project is in a weird space.
Whatnot. I've got a lot of what I want to say, but I'm not going to say a lot of it. I know this video won't get any views, and that's okay. I'm also at peace with this. I'm moving on with my life to pursue my other interests, and I'm on a path of spiritual enlightenment. See, since I hit 30, I've had a feeling, and I'm trying to work out what it means.
He's a young man still.
Like, I've been a little bit unbalanced ever since, so like there's a deeper reason for me being here. I can't explain it, but that's just how I feel. And right now, I feel like I'm wasting my time putting together content that doesn't meet my expectations or bring a value to what I want it to bring to other people.
Okay.
Whether, like I said, it be views, likes, or subs. Particularly, it's the views and the comments. It's something that I've really enjoyed coming to the Star Citizen community for. That's why I'm here, pretty much. I started playing the game
Lawless Baron.
back in 2021. I made an account in 2018, and to be honest, I feel like I enjoyed making the guides, and there's a lot of videos that are out there, so all the content that you see will remain, but there will no longer be any more content coming. All the gear that I have, I'm just going to sell it and move on to another part of my life. I will be using TikTok from time to time, but you know, it is what it is.
Okay.
I know I won't get over this for quite some time, but you know, it is what it is. I want to thank all of you who supported the channel over the years
I do have some
and subbed and just gave everything your all. I know I've lost a lot of
other
people
information.
in the time, but you know, that's life. You know, everyone moves on. There's something better. There's someone better. And honestly, it's my time. So I'll see you around sometime in the verse. Until then, it's my time to write a new chapter. 07.
All right, so he's saying goodbye to content creation in general, it sounds like, but a lot of it seems to be centered around Star Citizen. How do I put this? So when I first started playing, Lawless Baron was one of the content creators I had watched a handful of times, and being interested in the game and wanting to know everything about it, I joined his Discord, but I left after a couple of weeks when I discovered that his Discord was mainly filled with whales, wallet watchers, and fleet pick jerk off. Like, I just nobody was mean or rude or condescending to me, but it felt that I didn't belong because I was never going to spend that kind of money on Star Citizen, right? You know, even after 3 years, I'm still not concierge, even with everything that I've bought in the game using YouTube funding to my own money. I still, you know, with the giveaways and stuff like that, I still haven't hit concierge, and I have no plans on hitting concierge. I'm not going to spend money on subscriptions. I'm not going to spend money on ships. I'm not doing it. So I am where I'm at right now. Secondly, I'm not going to name the names that are in the group, but a year and a half, 2 years ago, I got invited. I'll say the person that created it. Starstreams created a Discord, and it was supposed to be a gathering place for content creators. Why I got invited, I don't know, because I was the smallest channel on there, or in there. But for lack of a better way to describe it, it was kind of, and still is, the who's who, and some of the top creators for Star Citizen are in there. Lawless Baron was also in there. I'm going to paraphrase what he said, but about a year and a half ago, when he took a really long break from Star Citizen, he basically said, like, he didn't want to keep doing this. The game's shit. It's not moving forward. It's you know, the usual Star Citizen stuff. And he took like a really long break, and then he came back and started making more content again, and then took another really long break. So I think, like with a lot of Star Citizen players and even content creators, this game can beat you up and wear you down, because, you know, gobs and gobs of money, and it seems to be going nowhere fast, right? It's very, very, very slowly moving forward, and sometimes backwards. But it's Star Citizen. I don't know what else to say about it, right? 14 years, baby. $1 billion. All right. Commerl. So it says I watched this. I did not watch this. I had heard that they were doing another partnership. We'll see how this one goes, right? Because they partnered with Turbulent Studios for on and off for what, 5 years? So we'll see what this one's all about. I haven't watched this, and I heard about it yesterday, 2 days ago, somewhere around there, and I was really interested to hear what they were going to be partnering up with or for.
Hello everyone. A few days ago there was a
Hey, Weiser. Tens of billions? I mean, maybe one day. I don't know. They got a lot of big whales still spending on lots and lots of spaceships, right?
Hello everyone. A few days ago there was a very interesting thread on Reddit, the normal Reddit, not refunds. CRG have partnered with 11 Labs for AI audio in Star Citizen and or Squadron 42. 11 Labs is a startup that has built the most realistic AI voice platform. Well, this is what they are saying. And they are mentioning some gaming studios, Paradox, cloudimperiumgames, don't not. 11 Labs is a software company that specializes in developing...
So they've only been around for 3 years. They're from Poland. Watching inadequately dubbed American films. Interesting. Okay, so they got a $2 million startup. By 2023, 19 million. And their company is valued at about 100 million. No office and only 15 employees, so it's all remote work. Interesting. 2024, they hit another 80 billion in Series B funding. So now their corporation's 1.1 billion. That's really interesting. That is really, really, really interesting.
Natural sounding speech synthesis software using deep learning. 11 Labs was founded in 2022.
I mean, it could be, Brian.
Right now, 11 Labs worth is around $1.1 billion. 11 Labs was criticized after users were able to abuse its software to generate controversial statements in the vocal style of celebrities, public officials, and other famous individuals. Yeah, now CRG is using 11 Labs for their games. This can be good. For example, we have way too many, stupid NPC lines. I hate this crap. Good choice. CRG cannot even do any attenuation. When you are like 20 meters away, you are still hearing the NPC like he would stand next to you.
And I thought like that was a big thing both in 2023 and 2024's SitCon was audio improvements. It seems as though that has not really happened, right? There's been some audio tweaks, but I don't know about the actual improvements. That I would have to go back and rewatch those segments of both those sitcoms.
NPC clerks are repeating the same lines over and over and over. Chris, do you really think this is immersive? I would prefer it if those NPC clerks would just shut up and not talk at all. Seriously, Chris, this might be immersive the first 1 or 2 times a new player is hearing those NPCs talking to him, but after a very short while, it's pretty much obvious they are just on a very silly loop.
Hi, welcome. Hi, welcome.
Hi, welcome.
Hi, welcome to the store.
Shut up. Shut the fuck up. There's supposed to be a very interesting new bug. Let's buy something to drink. Yeah, those NPCs are now talking to you all the time. So don't...
What I think is funny is in a game where you're using a screen all the time, right? You go to a store, you go to the weapon store, what are you using? A screen. You go to the armor store, what are you using? A screen. You buy ship components, screen. Ship guns, screen, right? Ammo, screen. The only places where you really buy anything from any of the NPCs is like right there at the little snack shops, right? Why have NPCs manning the shops anyways? If you're just using a touchscreen, why even have them be there, right? They're just unused assets, more entities on a server, right? Why use them? Why even keep them? Why like seriously, why even keep them around? Or you're left with the choice of, if you want us to interact with your newly improved, well, soon to be, or 2 years maybe, improved AI for the NPCs, we're never going to interact with them. We're constantly using screens. So does that mean you're going to remove the screens and we're going to have to go to the AI and click on the AI and then get our list of options? Or like why even have this in there if we're not interacting them with any of them? Right? Somebody's bringing up the bartender. The bartender doesn't even like work half the time, right? If it works, you're like, oh my God, the bartender worked. It gave me a drink. Most of the time it doesn't work. So once again, why? Like, why? I see, for me, just thinking logically, if I'm using a screen for everything, why have NPCs in the shop? If I'm at a food or a snack bar, okay, that's fine. The NPC can be there, but I'm not interacting with them. Like, you walk up, you buy the food and you walk away. You have zero interaction with them. So why are they even speaking to me? I don't know. I just don't get it. The bartenders, I guess if you want to keep them in there, if you can make them work, I guess. But most of the time, I mean, I haven't been to Crusader or New Babbage and gone to the bar in, I think it was 3.22 was the last time I went to Crusader, or it was either New Babbage or Crusader, and went to the bar and got a drink. And like, it took like 15 clicks before I got my drink, but yeah, I got it. So I don't know, man. Like, that's just me. If we're using screens, why even bother with the NPCs?
Shut up.
Hi. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with.
And if you get some distance,
He's like shouting
the
at
sound
you.
does not get quieter.
Hi, welcome.
I can still hear him, like he would stood next to me. That's
Yeah, pool
so
table, sauna, swimming
stupid,
pools,
Chris.
hot tubs.
Come on, Chris, please fix this.
That's true, Wiser.
Hi, thanks for coming in.
How do you think this Lux
Hi,
gets
welcome
filled?
to the store. Hi, welcome to the store.
Hi, welcome to the store. He's at Everest Harbor. All right, we know where he's at. Everybody, grief him. Grief Camerl, he's at Everest Harbor. No, actually, no, he's not at Everest
Let's have
Harbor.
something to eat.
Hi.
Yeah, maybe he is. No,
Let me know if there's anything I can help you with.
I don't think he
I
is.
can still hear the NPC talking like he was standing next to me. 10 out of 10, Chris. If CIG is using 11 labs to generate AI voices for those not so important NPCs, I think that's fine. Still, some people will lose their jobs. But we don't know what CIG's plans overall are. Do they want to remove most of their voice actors? I really love good voice acting in games like, for example, Baldur's Gate
You can,
3
yes.
and Kingdom Come Deliverance 1. By the way, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is coming out very, very soon. I cannot wait. And while 11 Labs AI audio is really good, it's still not natural. It
No.
still sounds like AI generated. Well, time will tell if CIG will lay off more people. In general,
Is that
I feel
still a plan? Like, they
sorry
keep
for voice actors.
going back and
We
forth
have so
on
many
that.
fantastic voice actors, and now they're getting replaced by some shitty AI code. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye. Auf Wiedersehen.
Well, one way or another, we'll find out what
Twin
Flash is
Commander
made of.
4.
I guarantee you that.
Go get him, Luke. Go get him. And Biff.
Isn't that the guy from Star Wars?
Hey, you're still here.
That was good. That's good. So I have a couple opinions real quick, right? I would have to do some digging to find what it is I'm exactly talking about, but it was like 2016, 2017's GameCon, and they had a list of like iCache, Pcache, something, StarNet, and something else on a board for Star Citizen, right? And they were talking about the eventuality of server meshing and all of that. And then in 2018, they revisited that stuff and they announced Pyro and server meshing, and it was supposed to be coming the next year. And we all know that it took 6 years for us to eventually get it. Where I'm going is with this, and my point is this: they had been partnership by the time we got Pyro. They had been doing a partnership with Turbulent Labs or Turbulent Studios for 4 or 5 years, and then they acquired them the year-ish before server meshing came out. Now Benoit, I forget his last name, he had been one of the forefront guys with server meshing and making server meshing work. There was another gentleman who has now left CIG. Like the day 4.0 preview went live, he left. So my question is, are we just running into another inability for CIG to actually create what they say they're going to be able to create? Or do they need help? Either way, the whole Turbulent Lab things and the acquisition and then finally server meshing comes online leaves me scratching my head and basically saying that I don't think CIG could have pulled it off without Turbulent Labs. And they're still not done yet, right? Because it's only static server meshing. They don't have dynamic server meshing in. And well, we know it works, but only works to a point, right? It's you know, out of fully working, it only works what, 25% of the time. Missions aren't generating properly, cargo still disappears, cargo missions aren't working. You know, it's hit or miss right now. I heard 4.01 is better, but it's still not good enough, right? So I don't know. We'll see where it goes. I hope, I wish all the best for Star Citizen, but I really honestly don't play it anymore. I take it in through a couple of content creators and streamers, and that's really about it. I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me anymore, right? It just doesn't. We're gonna do 2 Dune Awakening videos, but we're going to do a Dune Awakening and then another video and then go back to Dune Awakening. So this is a very anticipated MMO. You know, space nerds and book nerds and movie nerds alike are all anxiously awaiting this game. I've signed up for the beta a couple of times. I have not gotten in yet, but you know, hopefully, maybe. Their stock option goes up again in 2028. So 2028 is the next time they have the option to pull out, which is both, I guess, good for CIG and bad, because if they're late or Squadron 42 doesn't produce the revenue that it's supposed to, they're going to bail on them, and they're going to take $160 million, I think it is, with them. So that would be very painful for them. All right, let's see what these
features coming with
20 epic features, right? Who was this? Let me not be rude. Kia on fire.
Dune Awakening, which will be releasing this year. If you enjoyed the video today, like and subscribe for more Dune Awakening content. But without further ado, let's get into it. Sandworms are Dune's biggest and largest threat. At the start of the game, you deal with the baby ones. Yeah, apparently this gigantic worm is the smaller of the bunch. You can hear them shuffling menacingly under the sands, even within the confines of what is supposed to be a safe place, aka your base, making them a constant concern to be around.
That's kind of cool. That's honestly kind of cool.
Watch out for open sand, as they seem to roam around here looking for prey. And of course, this game is going to make you travel across these vast sands to progress, so try not to get eaten. At number 2, we have the class system. Upon character creation, you get a selection of 4 different class types.
Swordmaster.
The Swordmaster, Bene Gesserit, Mentat, and Trooper. In Dune, they call this mentors and training. We get a small preview of what each one entails. The Trooper is a soldier of the sands. As the Trooper, you play as offense and demolitionist, so expect to be getting into scuffles and blowing up enemies. It has a starting ability of a sugar wire cable, which essentially works like a grappling hook.
Oh, that's cool.
The Mentat is your scouting character. You play with strategy. Expect to be stealthing into enemy camps, analyzing data on targets such as weak points.
Your sniper recon.
With the sentry turret, so I imagine you'll be sneaking around laying traps. The Bene Gesserit are the mind controllers of the universe. You are a master manipulator who has the power of the voice, much like seen in the movies.
Okay, so probably your crowd control
will be compel. This forces enemies to walk to your position from afar.
Control.
And finally, the Swordmaster, your close combat fisticuffs type character. Your knowledge will be within blades. The starting ability you receive with this one is Deflection, which allows you to deflect incoming darts, which is the type of ammo used in Dune for ranged weapons. In the game, you're able to explore ancient Fremen ruins. In here, you'll be able to huff up some spice to get down with the good times. This looks to be where a lot of story about the universe is learned. Whilst you're being told information by the spice hallucination, you'll get to do a little mini game parkouring around the place, dodging giant eyes representing the sun, and you will be rewarded for completing these trials by receiving blueprints such as the still suit. Dune Awakening is an MMO game, meaning you can play with or...
so you gotta complete puzzles to get blueprints. All right. And I know they had said that they want to have storms come through on the planet and rearrange where some of these caves are, and some caves that would give one type of reward are now closed off and you can't get back to them until the next storm comes through. So I do like that, and I hope they have kept that from the beginnings of this game when they first started talking about it till now, because I know it's getting closer and closer to release, so I hope that's still a thing.
Without your friends, but it is designed with multiplayer in mind.
Same Canop, same. It does look stiff, but I was kind of
you can go in for loot, but you don't have to go at it alone,
hoping it gets better.
You can get a party system in the game. You can either invite people you bump into out in the world, or there seems to be a menu for inviting friends and making parties off it remotely. My next feature is in tail with the previous. Testing stations will be ideal for looting, and parties are encouraged even with strangers.
I remember they were talking about this.
What about looting? Well, it seems like Funcom have been very clever about this common problem experienced in other survival games, and that is the matter of sharing loot. In the footage here, you can see our fellow character looting chests, and moments later, despite the chest being empty, the 2 other guys visit those chests as well. This is such a nice mechanic as it means no headaches on divvying up the loot or dealing with your local loot goblin, as it's not shared and everyone can get their own bit of treasure. At number 6, we have Trading Posts. Strictly PvE common areas players can meet up and team up to go on missions together. Or contracts, as the game likes to call it. This will act as your side quest for the game, where you can complete contracts to gain some extra Solaris, which is the game's currency, and XP for leveling up. You can also visit traders here for buying items such as the Litterjon, which is a very nifty water flask, which will be invaluable for the dry planet of Arrakis. You piss these warriors off at the very start of the game, aka the Sardaukar. If the sandworms wasn't enough, this harsh planet is patrolled by Sardaukar ships with spotlights coming out of them. They come at night, looking for you. I imagine stepping into the light would have some very undesirable
I played a lot of Division 2 as well.
The character creation screen looks excellent.
This should be fun. I'm really hoping it's fun.
This is the first thing you'll be met with when you open up a new playthrough.
Oh, that's cool.
You can either pick presets.
CIG, take note. This is an actual character creator, not a face creator. You call your stuff a character creator, but it's not actually a character creator. This is a character creator. You get to shape the face, the hair, the eyes, arm, leg, like all of it. You can like, what if one patch I want to play as a fat bearded man in Star Citizen? I can have the beard, but I can't be fat, you know. And then the next time I play, maybe I want to be an athletic woman, right? Yeah, I could be a woman, but I can't change my body type. So this is an actual character creator.
Make your very own character, which you can change the width and the shape of certain body parts, the skin tones. You can even give your characters vitiligo, which is an autoimmune disorder which adds white patches to your skin in real life. You can change hairstyle, age, beards, eyes,
I got a lot of stuff in there.
Makeup and tattoos seem to be an additional feature you can zest up in this menu.
Nice.
I love a good character creator. I can easily spend a long time within this one, so I'm really happy I'll be able to do this in Dune. With the warfare within Arrakis running strong, you can find wreckages around the sands to salvage for useful parts.
Canop, you're probably right.
In crafting. You can also get the fun little mini game with the mining tool to cut along the blue lines to salvage parts of the fallen vehicle. Despite the desert
Wait.
Around the sands to salvage for useful parts, which you can use in crafting. You can also get the fun little mini game with the mining tool to cut along the blue lines to salvage parts of the fallen vehicle.
I mean, it's technically beam gameplay like we have in Star Citizen, but it's far more interactive type of salvaging than push a button, watching a ship disintegrate, push a button, bunch it, and slurp it up. Or Power Wash Simulator, right? Yeah, and you're right. Look at this. Look at the way the hair flows and stuff when she's like spinning it around.
You can even give your characters vitiligo, which is
go back to the long hair when you spun her.
Which adds white patches to your skin in real life. You can change hairstyle, age, beards, eyes, and even makeup and tattoos seem to be an additional feature you can zest up in this menu. I love a good character creator. I can easily spend a long time within this one, so I'm really happy I'll be able to do this in Dune.
Oh, that doesn't move when she spun it. Okay.
Running strong,
but the salvage gameplay, yes, it's gameplay, but it's far more interactive than what we got in Star Citizen. Far more interactive.
You can also get the fun little mini game with the mining tool to cut along the blue lines to salvage parts of the fallen vehicle. Despite the desert being a harsh place, it can be very beneficial to make friends lines in Dune. In combat, if you receive enough damage, instead of instantly passing away, you actually get a second
Why isn't
chance
he being attacked?
by being put into the down stance. It looks like from here you can choose to accept your fate or revive yourself, which is going to be extremely handy in a pinch. Much like Funcom's previous game Conan Exiles, you'll be able to climb up mountains in Dune with your bare hands. Climb your way
All I think of is Todd Howard. You see that mountain over there? You can go to it.
up to the top with a survey probe launcher and fire it off to survey the surrounding area of the map. This in turn will clear the fog off of the section you're on, so you'll be able to see the points of interest on the map, which is extremely interesting, which may help with the teased Coriolis storm, which resets the map weekly.
Oh, so they are going to do it. They are going to do it.
Arrakis. You'll want to make sure you're in cover when one comes along. You're warned early on in the game that if you don't keep your
I guess you're right,
generator
Cannot,
fueled,
but
the
it's also not
sandstorm will
realistic.
tear at your walls.
But then again, I don't think this game is like going for super in-depth realism. It's like riding that line between gameplay and realism. Who would have thought?
Let alone the damage it caused flying an ornithopter through it. It's safe to say this is one of Dune's biggest threats, and you'll want to make sure you're within 4 walls when one comes along. Like Conan Exiles, you get a shelter buff on your left-hand side, so you can find out whether you're in the appropriate shelter to withstand a stormy day. Vehicles are a huge part of the game. We've seen ornithopters, sandbikes, trucks, and even tanks. There aren't many survival games I know of that allow you to customize and build cars quite like this one does. In a fabricator, you can craft vehicle parts, and you're given a welding torch to put them all together, allowing you to customize your bike
3D printer?
you
3D
like.
printer?
This is really exciting. The modes of transport are extremely fun to drive, and they will be a big part of your experience playing the game. Talking about cosmetics, you can emote to your fellow survivors in the game. It looks like there is a few you can use. You seem to also be able to trade with other players by selecting the radial menu on their character when you're up close to them.
What?
Which will be a lot safer
CIG hasn't invented this yet. How did this get in the game?
than dropping random bags on the floor. Dune Awakening is full of helpful prompts and tips for you to read when you're interacting with different things in the game. It's a nice snippet of flavor text you can have pop up on the right hand side of your screen when you're doing something new. I like how it isn't long and
melee
boring
does
to
look
read,
really
and it gets
stiff.
straight to the point and gives you the information you need. Same goes with the tutorial. You're walked through on how to play the game and dish out certain combat moves before you've even set
I agree,
foot on the
Diz. I agree.
sands. Farming seems
I'm
to be
really excited about
different on
player-to-player
Dune.
trade.
You can scan different rocks and wreckages to get a
that's cool.
small follow the line mini game on them, which you can draw a line with your mining laser to farm resources. I think this is pretty neat. It definitely.
Now, see, this is cool. Like, this is like, I like rock mining, hand mining, and ship mining and Star Citizen because you get a little mini game to play, right? You know, you got to keep it in the certain window so it doesn't explode and etc. But this looks cool. Yes, you can in certain PvP areas.
beats smashing up rocks with a pickaxe like many other games do.
I like this.
You're given a sub-thief console. You can use this to claim a plot of land on Arrakis, meaning randoms can't spam random pillars all over the place. It looks like you can't build these crossing over important enemy structures or other players' sub-thieves, which is really nice, meaning places of interest cannot be blocked off either. Xantara, your guide, lets you know the first sub-thief is a very minor version, the subbiest of sub-thieves, in fact. So later on you'll be able to upgrade.
There's no PvP servers. Okay. So the game, the last time I went in depth watched a video on here anyways, and they went in depth about it. So you have the starting area where everybody starts off, and that's kind of like the tutorial. And then you have, after that, you go into the big wider world, and there is like your base building world, like your base building area and your common area and stuff like that. Now, there's this place called the Deep Desert, and that's where all the really good stuff is going to be, right? And if you want to get that stuff, you need to go to the Deep Desert. But in the Deep Desert, it is PvP, right? But not everywhere you go is going to be PvP, right? And I don't know how they're going to work base raids, because I know that they have to be in it, right? So we'll see how they do this.
To a bigger console when you've progressed through the game more. Building in this game is quite nifty. You get several options on your construction tools, including a piece picker, which allows you to copy already placed down items, a repair option for repairing sandstorm damage, a move tool for moving around stations.
Oh, so you have to repair your stuff.
And a demolish tab. There's lots of different building parts you can play around with to design your base. Pillars, windows, custom roofing.
Look at that. Outer face, inner face. Genius UI option right here. Genius UI option.
You name it. You'll be able to do a lot with this system and create some really cool sci-fi-esque bases. The deserts of Arrakis is a harsh place. There are not many places to get a good drink of water. However, there are a lot of enemies seeking the same thing as you are. You will need to source your fluids in a very unsavory fashion on Arrakis by making yourself a blood extractor and sack for sapping out your enemies once you've defeated them. You can drink as is if you fancy being a vampire, or purify it in a blood purifying machine. Water is extremely important on this planet, and it will be a huge focus for you in the game. Testing stations aren't the only places to grab some valuable loot. You can find sealed caves all over Arrakis. Break through the micro sandwich fabric to enter into these cozy protected camps. But you have to be aware in some of them, as people hiding there have set up some traps, which might explode if you're not careful enough. Grab some fresh water in here and maybe some chests of loot to help you on your survival journey through Dune Awakening. That's all 20 features for this video. Let this girl know down in the comments down below. What are you most looking forward to when the game releases?
Dude, this game looks like it's going to be really fun.
To be my most anticipated features. Big thank you to Funcom for letting me experience their closed beta test. If you fancy picking up the game yourself or joining the beta test, you can find the wishlist and sign up links in the description.
Yeah, I've done it a few times. I haven't made it in yet. So that was cool. I'm definitely super interested in playing this game. I mean, I have been for a long while, so I mean, I'm sure it's no surprise to any of you guys. I've definitely been excited to try this game. All right, we're gonna do 2 more videos, and then we are going to. I'm gonna have to end it after that. Yeah, it's been a long time. It's been like a month and a half since I've watched a VoidyVids video. So I think we'll do VoidyVids, and then we'll do this other Dune Awakening video. So let's do VoidyVids. More Star Citizen, right? Am I right?
Our ludicrous space game is actually so broken beyond belief.
Hold on 1 second, guys. I will be hitting play here in just a second. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Had to respond. Discord was going nutty. Sorry. All right. So VoidyVids. Star Citizen's broken.
Right now that developers CIG pulled an unprecedented move and cancelled a free fly event where anyone could log in and try Star Citizen out for free. Fly.
Okay, so I think canceling the free fly was a really good decision and shows that they want to make a change, but as far as actually making the change, we'll have to wait and see, right? I'm not going to go, giving them the imaginary pat on the back saying, good job, good job. I'm not going to do that. Canceling the free fly, that's one thing, but actually showing us that you're going to actually start working on stability and playability, that's a whole nother thing. We didn't watch the video, but they've been working on playability and stability since 2018. It's been 6 years. It hasn't been stable or playable very much during those 6 years, right? We get moments where it's playable and stable. Oops.
This is the third 30,009 error I've had trying to connect. The game is currently so broken, in fact, that it prompted me to make a rare, actual super serious discussion video instead of the usual world-class and totally brilliant epic space adventure type content that a lot of you handsome viewers have become accustomed to. So what in the Mazian's crusty nutsack is going on, and why do we care? The last few free fly events that I can recall didn't really negatively impact my experience playing the game, if at all, but we need to remember that the Star Citizen experience is first and foremost an anecdotal one. You just need to take a step back and realize.
So me and some of the guys were talking the other night, and it's crazy how you can have 15 people on the same server all standing outside of the same bunker, and everybody's having a completely different experience. It's completely different for all 15 of them. It could be great, it could be awesome, it could be so-so. Something could be broken for another guy, and they're helping them out by, I don't know, giving them food or drinks on the ground, right? And then, you know, there's a few of them that it's absolutely broken and they're logging off for the night, right? So it's completely different for everybody, even if you are all on the same server in the same spot. I'm not a big network guy, so I'm going to assume that whatever is causing a variety of different player experiences all on the same server within the same area has something to do with client to server, server to client, right? That's all I can think of.
For a second that you're not the center of the universe to appreciate that our
Mr. E is the center of the universe in Star Citizen.
And for every one person having a great time, there are many more experiencing some form of game-breaking, session-ending, and overly frustrating issues. It's been this way forever,
Right.
regardless of how good your experience was.
Or
in
all
fact,
15 are experiencing 17 different
yourself.
bugs.
So I just thought I would throw my 2 American United Earth credits into the current conversation about the cancelled free fly and CIG's alleged intentions to focus on playability as well as stability and ask these 2 questions. Is the cancelled free fly a sign that
Mr. E,
CIG
what's
are
up?
actually going to improve, polish, and fix the game that we currently have in our
Oh wait, he's playing
today?
Dune.
And
Oh
if
shit,
they
wrong
do,
game.
and actually playing the game becomes a frictionless and flawless experience over the next few months, is there even enough game to play and keep the player base engaged for long?
No.
To answer the first question,
okay, we need to focus on how the game plays now. We've got to improve the quality of life. We've got to improve the user experience.
2018! It's 2025!
this clip of Sodium Michael's clip of a clip highlights how we've been here before. It appears that the cycle is simply continuing, and there's always been a yearning.
He said it in 2018, 2019, then they skipped 2020, they said it in 2021, and here we are. Going on 7 years, and they haven't really done much with playability and stability.
From the community for making the current live experience as good as possible by removing all the friction experienced in moment-to-moment gameplay and let us enjoy what game there is without having to rip our fingernails off in frustration. They never fixed it back then, they haven't fixed it yet.
So before he says it, I'm going to tell you guys right now that if you remove the time that you're fighting bugs to play the game, and the servers are stable, the bugs are mostly gone, you guys are going to find, like, even the most loving Star Citizen players are going to find there's not much to do in this game really fast, right? Nothing interconnects with each other. Mining, salvage, and all of that, they don't interconnect with each other. They have no effect on the verse. There's nothing, right? It's just nothing, right? So there's a lot to be desired when it comes to Star Citizen and its depth of gameplay, right? Even the bounty hunting. What do you do? You get to rank 5 or tier, well, not rank 5, but you get to the upper tiers. You know, you get your ERTs, and then what? Right? Then what? Are you going to change from Crusader to Microtech and rank that one all the way up, and then change to Arc? Like, you're only going to do it for so long before you're like, this is freaking boring, right? Mining, same. Salvage, same. You know, the only time you get a lot of fun out of this game is when you're playing with like-minded friends and you're laughing and giggling and having a good time. And it doesn't matter if you're sitting in a salvage turret or a mining turret or the turret of a Connie while your friend is flying, or vice versa. It doesn't matter. And you can have a good time like that, right? But even then, you're going to quickly find that there's not much offered within this game, and you'll start to create your own, whether it's pirating, griefing. You know, we used to, back in the day, when ERTs had a good amount of illegal drugs on them, we would, I think it was Canop, Moon, Jim, Pagan. There might have been maybe Marcus, I don't know, but there was one or two other people there with us, and we were shooting down the ERTs, and then we'd have a group go in, remove the cargo, and put it on a cargo ship, and then we would have another group come in and salvage it. And once they were done, me and Canop and possibly Marcus, I don't remember who was all there. I just know that there was like 7 or 8 of us, would move on to the next group of bounties, shoot them down, and repeat the process of pulling the illegal cargo, putting it on a cargo ship, having a scraping crew come in, scrape it, munch it, and then once everybody was full, we would go and sell it and divvy out the money. So, and that was fun. Like, we were having fun with each other, we were laughing, having a good time, and you know, there was a common goal in Star Citizen, and we were connecting 3 different professions together, and it was fun. But that kind of went away, right?
But will they fix it now? Handsome viewer, I f***ing hope so. But the real question to get some sort of answer should actually be, what's the best thing for the project's success in the long term? Say what you want about CIG's marketing tactics and the project's tumultuous development over the years, but it's undeniable that Star Citizen is not a cash grab scam. And if it is, it's the worst cash grab scam in the history of the world. The amount of time, effort, developer blood and money that has gone into this project alongside the creation of new technologies like server meshing is unironically unprecedented, and a casual glimpse at the wider environment of the gaming industry should indicate to you that we are lucky to even have Star Citizen in our hands today, as shit and buggy as it is in the first place. Typically, when a game is developed and eventually released, the marketing is what does all the heavy lifting for the initial sales, and sadly in modern gaming, the pre-sales as well, which are huge factors in determining the financial success
early
or
access
failure of a title. However, it is the quality of the game itself that sustains
it's really not
long term.
Everybody thinks it is, but it's not.
Particular itch potential players have had leading up to the game's release. Does the game live up to the hype created by the marketing in the first place? And most importantly, is the game good? Elden Ring and Baldur's Gate 3 showcase this point most aptly. Rare cases of games with a ton of hype leading up to their releases and then actually meeting or exceeding that hype in the eyes of the larger player base, leading to long-term sustained success. There are indeed exceptions such as No Man's Sky and Cyberpunk 2077.
Okay. Can Star Citizen be fun? Yes. Does it have longevity? Like I said, if you take away the bugs and the stability and it runs smooth and there's no more bugs involved or few bugs involved, do the game loops have longevity? Do they actually have staying power? And I'm of the opinion of no, they don't. Not currently.
7 that had huge marketing endeavors, met with abysmal launches that missed their marks, but met sustainable success over time as the developers continue to strive to make the games themselves good and meet the quality bar
I agree,
their players
Cosmic.
required from them. Star Citizen, however, breaks these conventions and has managed to exist in a state of hype stasis for over 50 years.
That's
Sustainably,
very
but
true,
perplexingly
Canna.
raising its nearly $1 billion
It's the everything
without ever
game.
actually producing a solid gameplay experience that any mainstream audience gamer would consider acceptable. So it's my belief that whoever at CIG is guiding the Star Citizen project along its golden path will steer the project towards stability
was
and
that?
playability when it makes the most sense to ensure the long-term and sustainable success of the game, or whenever it becomes financially sensical to do so. In my humble opinion, it boils down to this. If Star Citizen becomes a frictionless and enjoyable experience to play now, in the short term, would the potential success and growth from that allocation of company resources to make that happen translate to enough financial gain to compete with or exceed yet another ship sale for yet another broken build of our ludicrous space game? I feel like with the current state of 4.0 point whatever the fuck, it should. How many of you handsome viewers have friends? How many of those friends have you tried to get to come play Star Citizen with you? How many of those friends would
A lot of those
dedicate
friends try to get
time
me
and
to
their
play Star
hard-earned
Citizen with
money
them.
towards Star Citizen if the game was in a far
I generally say,
better and more playable state?
no.
If the game was polished, stable, and frictionless right now, having an influx of new or inexperienced players who don't end up Alt F4ing at the first sign of a game-breaking bug can and should do more good for the health and sustainability of the game than any tone-deaf marketing endeavor to sell yet another spaceship. However, I'm not a member of the CIG accounting team, and we have no idea how effective it would actually be in practice. But surely more people would be willing to spend more money on the project if the game
I kind of feel the same way, Does.
worked consistently. Normal people buy a game to play the game, not marvel at their fleet of fake spaceship JPEGs that they cannot even use. And I need to believe that there are more normal people out there that just want to buy and play a cool multiplayer space game that have enough purchasing power to mean something to CIG and actually impact the long-term health of Star Citizen. As for the second question, if Star Citizen becomes a frictionless and flawless experience over the next few months, is there even enough game there to play and keep the player base engaged for long enough until the next big content drop?
No.
From my perspective, this question has two answers. On the one hand, you have a player base that is perfectly content with the shallow and repetitive PvE content the game has had on offer for the last 500 years, and think that going to a bunker and shooting a handful of desynchronous NPCs in a high-octane manner is peak modern gaming. Now, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. You do you, but I've always seen the current rudimentary mission and contract system in Star Citizen as a placeholder for a much deeper and dynamic system that I hope realizes its full potential in the coming years. Whatever that might look like, I have no idea. Something about probability volumes and quantum physics, but the current amount of PvE-orientated content definitely has a short shelf life even for the most dedicated of grinders. On the other hand, you have a fun and challenging PvP-orientated side of the game that lends itself to some incredible emergent gameplay.
Fun and challenging PvP, right? But when you are trying to pirate other people, like, look, I understand it sucks being pirated. I've been pirated. I've been anti-pirated. It's all happened, right? It stops being fun when you take the game as seriously as most of these people do. And it usually makes me circle back around to the point of, well, I spent X amount of money in this game. I should be untouchable, or it should be an I win button. And that's just not how it is. If you want to have fun PvPing, or you're the one that's being pirated, fight back. Fight back. I'm telling you, fight back. Don't be an ass. Just fight back. You know, put some boxes in the way, throw boxes at them, shoot them, you know, sneak out the side hatch and get in their ship and shoot down the ship while they're in it. Do that. Fight back. You will have, trust me, you will have an amazing time doing it. You will, I'm telling you right now, you will have an amazing time doing it.
Of which I have said before and will continue to say again. No other game comes close to seamlessly creating the scenarios and situations that I continue to find myself in Star Citizen that no developer or designer could ever create by hand. That's not a comment to do with any degree or lack of skill in their craft,
Ooh,
but because
attritions.
other players just simply cannot be controlled or told what to do.
Right.
PvE content is designed to be beaten after all, and there is enough of Star Citizen's foundation in place in the current game that most PvP piracy orientated encounters become their own incredible adventures that I just can't seem to get enough of. It's the reason I even make the videos I've become known for on this channel. It's the polar opposite of many other games that
It's also
you so
super
tightly
true.
to rails you might
cannot.
as well be watching a movie. And that's what makes Star Citizen so special, that within that freedom of the sandbox, there's tons of room for exciting sci-fi emergent gameplay, and any mission or contract system should support this to the best of its ability, not exist in isolation of it. If you take that current PvP-oriented gameplay experience that is possible today and add it to what CIG intends for a 1.0 future version of the game, you have a recipe
1.0
for
is
something
so far
truly
off.
special. A game that I believe
So
will
far
definitely
away.
be worth many people's time and money that will one day eventually exceed hype and expectations. It's just a matter of time and probably another $1 billion. But I would love to know your handsome viewers' handsome thoughts. Is the cancelled free fly a sign of positive change to come? Could we get a stable and consistently playable Star Citizen this year? And will it stay that way? Should CIG just continue doing what they've been doing? Because apparently if it's broke, you don't actually really need to fix it because you keep making millions of dollars anyway. Is it
Hundreds of
finally
millions of
time to turn
dollars.
the tech demo into a game?
It's
Let me know
been
in the
time for a
comments
long
below.
time. He's incapacitated.
Thank you so much for watching. Instead of the usual Patreon and support nonsense, it's time for an important
It will,
message.
Canop, it will.
In December, I held a live stream. A live stream that helped my family raise money and pay for all the exorbitant costs associated with safely getting our pet dogs, Kevin and Sabrina, over from South Africa to our new home in the UK. We had spent over 4 long months in a new country without them, and today I am tremendously pleased and moved beyond words to provide you guys who made this possible with an update.
That's cool. That's really cool. That's really cool. I'm doing good, Ramoyne. I'm doing very, very good, Ramoyne. That's really cool they were able to get their dogs back. The internet can be so wonderful sometimes, and strangers can be so kind. That's super cool.
International puppos now.
That's cool. And that's VoidyVids, everybody. I'm happy he was able to get his dogs back. That's really cool. The power of the internet and strangers, right? Am I right, guys? Am I right? What time is it? What time is it? It's 9:37. I don't really have enough time to get the next, like I said, I got a couple of things I need to do before everybody's totally in bed and asleep, and I got just a little bit left to do, or a little bit of time left to do that in. So I think I'm gonna end it here on that wonderful and positive note, because that was really cool that people were able to help out VoidyVids like that and get his dogs from South Africa to the UK. That was really cool. So in conclusion, I'd like to say thank you all for being here. Thank you all for supporting my weird and wacky channel. And I'm going to get on tomorrow and do some more streaming. And yeah, so for the last time, thanks again. So long. Thanks for all the fish. And I will see you guys tomorrow. All right. Peace. Be safe out there. Mute button. All right, so we're going to raid Pagan's channel. Okay, sorry about the no mic. We're raiding Pagan's channel, so everybody hang out with Pagan and yeah, give him some love. All right, later, guys.